If you love music videos, chances are you've felt the impact of Joseph Kahn's unforgettable creations.
Yeah, with nearly 200 film clips under his belt, he's also a successful movie director, and his new creation is set to send shockwaves. Wow, Joseph Kahn joins us live from Texas. Hi, Joseph.
Hello, hi.
Hi,
Thanks
terrific to see you. So many iconic videos there. What do you love about that art form, the ability to tell a story in 3 minutes or so?
There's no rules. You can do whatever you want, literally. If you get the artist on board, you can try new things that you're not limited by story, you're not limited by facts, you're not limited by life. You're just there to entertain somebody for 3 minutes and grab their attention, and you can do anything you want. So it's always been a privilege to play in that playground. You know, they give me money and I make up weird stuff.
Yeah, it's one thing we hate about working on this show, that facts and real life really get in the way of our storytelling here. One name we left out of that setup, our very own Kylie Minogue. Is there a specific moment from your time working with our Kylie that stands out for you?
Oh, she actually is probably my favorite artist I've ever worked with.
Wow.
Truly. Yeah, because she was so into the art, and I remember there was a specific moment where the record company executive at that point, probably doesn't work there anymore, it's been years, so I could say this, he wanted to re-edit the video. He looked at it, didn't understand it, said, I'm only going to re-edit 25% of it. Whatever that mathematical formula is, that's insane. Kylie said, nope, we're not doing that, and just released the video as is. That is some true support from one artist to another.
Yeah, indeed, she's terrific, Kylie. We've got to ask about Taylor Swift. 8 videos to date with Taylor. Tell us about that working relationship.
Taylor is truly a creative person. I think one of the most interesting things about Taylor is I believe she's seen a lot of my videos because, you know, by the time I worked with Taylor, I'd already had like a 20-year career. So I think she saw those Britney videos and things like that. So I remember in the early days, whenever I worked with a new artist, they didn't know my work. So you'd always kind of have to sort of convince them to do things. But by the time I worked with Taylor, she kind of spoke the language that I did. Like she already knew if I was placing a camera somewhere. She just trusted the process. So it just allowed me to push a lot further than I could with any other artist.
Hey, Joseph, does a bigger budget automatically equal a better music video, or can it be a really simple idea, economically executed, that cuts through as well?
In general, I would say that a bigger budget does help. It does, because you can buy more things, you can get more equipment. I mean, like, the problem with my art form is that it does require money. It's this and architecture are the 2 most expensive art forms in the world. It's not like I can just pick up a painting. I've got to get a camera, I've got to get a crew, I've got to get art, I've got to get budgets. But ultimately, I would say the actual creativity of it doesn't cost anything. The execution is what the money brings.
Sure. So from video clips now, we're going to talk about this new horror movie. It's a comedy horror and it's called Ick. Tell us about it.
So it's kind of a metaphor. You know, it's a new treaty on essentially monster movies. Because one thing I noticed is that there really aren't any monster movies for kids today. You know, there's King Kong and there's Godzilla, there's those guys. But in terms of a new monster, kind of a starter horror, if you will, there really isn't anything in that PG-13 space. And I really wanted to make something that captured the imagination of younger people. So, you know, Hollywood doesn't really make those movies right now. They're really into some seriously hardcore horror stuff. And, you know, it has nothing to do with like just trying to sell anything. I just felt like the kids out there need a movie like this.
I love that.
Is this something you've always wanted to do? I mean, the music clips are one thing, but have you always wanted to get in with the movies?
Yeah, I mean, I started as a filmmaker. I went to film school to be a filmmaker, although I always was inspired by music videos and I loved the art form and the sort of fastness of it. But, you know, my heroes are like, you know, Steven Spielberg and Alfred Hitchcock and, you know, Martin Scorsese. So I think the big difference between me and all the other sort of music video directors of the time is that their influences were more photographers and mine were always filmmakers. So on a certain level, all my music videos have been sort of practice runs for movies.
Yeah.
So is it fun to make a horror movie, or is it, you know, is there fun in trying to scare people?
It's fun, but you know, my objective here is not to completely terrify you. You know, when you watch Gremlins, I think you're scared to a degree. I mean, the adults the kids might find it scary, the adults find it funny. So there's always kind of two ways to watch a movie like this.
Yeah.
So I think for younger people, it'll be a scary movie. For older people, it'll be a much funnier movie because there's a lot of sort of political context and sociological context. But ultimately, you know, the objective here isn't to give you nightmares, is to give you a little bit more of a thrill ride. To me, it's more like Jurassic Park, you know?
Yeah.
You don't walk out of it afraid that a dinosaur is going to pop out of your closet or under your bed, but you're having fun with, and, you know, it's also a type of movie that, you know, a parent can watch with their kids, a teenager with their parents too, if the teenager allows it, by the way. So it's just a fun ride all the way around.
Really looking forward to seeing this. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
good
Joseph.
chat.
Talented guy, right?
Right.